Good evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Monday, the 21st of November, 2021. All right, my friends. So which way is this new variant of COVID going? Is it a mild case that you get? Is it something more than that? Do the vaccines work? Well, I saw the head of Pfizer and the CEO today. He was on a long interview on Bloomberg. He expects that we will have a good resistance rate with the current vaccines. He was asked, well, at what number, if it falls and it's not good, do you get a booster? He said anything under a 70% protection rate would be where they'd recommend 75% under there. Getting the booster shot. They are developing the booster right now. They have the code. They're writing it. It takes time to grow it. Then you got to go to the CDC. He said it takes 95 days. This is what the man said. I'd like to see that cut down, wouldn't you, if you get these things? Then he was asked, is this going to be a way of life for Americans and the world? And the answer is, yeah, for the near term. The variants as they come out, you might have to have boosters against them. They'll know as they develop, obviously, and they see what they can and can't do. But the idea is to get most of us protected and get our immune systems up to the point where we can handle it. The best protection is a vaccine. That's what you've heard. So how is that going to weigh in the financial markets with Fed Chair Powell and Ms. Yellen tomorrow when they speak tomorrow morning before the Senate Banking Committee? I've seen the prepared text already from Mr. Powell, and he's got plenty of questions about COVID, plenty of fear. He doesn't sound like he's changed his mind that inflation is here. It'll be persistent in the first half of 2022, but he still thinks it's transitory. That's what I took away from it. And obviously, the question you have to ask logically is, if we're going into an FOMC meeting in December, and there were so many people thinking this is where they're going to increase the tapering so that we get to a March point where we're done with this and a June liftoff, does this push that back? Come on. How could it not push it back? Why would the Fed suddenly put its foot out and say, no, we're going to taper right now and we'll worry about what this variant is or isn't? We were just told that we won't know about the variant for a minimum of 2 weeks more, maybe 3. You got your FOMC meeting, okay? I think that it's, from my perspective, done. The Fed's going to sit pat. They'll look at more data. I think the Fed chair's happy about this. There was probably a lot of pressure on him to do faster tapering because of inflation pressures, and now we'll see what goes. And we'll just see how some of these inflation pressures go as the supply chain is filling. Now, is it smart to be having lockdowns around the world on this? Every country's going to have this new variant. I'm certain it's in America. I don't believe anything when they say this. It's popping up everywhere you look. People travel. I'm sure it's here. Somebody just hasn't been tested with it yet. When I look at Tesla, okay, this was the sell-off. Remember the tweet, I'm going to sell off X percent of my stock if the public wants me to, and he did it. Then he stopped selling, but he still has a bit more to sell. So we'll see what goes on through there. The pattern is not a chart pattern to trade just here. You have a higher high and a lower low, so you've stepped out of a trend. Where's the market hanging around? That 18-day average of closes, the neutral zone. Looking at it, the bias is up, but you are trendless at this point. You haven't been able to hit an upper and lower Bollinger Band since the end of October for all purposes. And the slow stochastics are pointing up. So I think the worst is behind the market temporarily if momentum can stay up and the bias up. But this pattern isn't saying come on out and buy me from what I can see. Doesn't mean I'm right. In Apple, you've got a situation where the market's slipping a little bit here. It's got a contra trend, downtrend. What do I mean by that? The filter on a swing line is where's the market in relation to the 18-day average of closes, the way that I teach charting. So you have a downtrend that is fully countered by the market being over that number. It's a signal that you can't, not to be long, not that you can't, you can do whatever you want, that you shouldn't be long, but you have no reason to be short, and the market's correcting an overbought condition. I'm comfortable with that. This is the nightmare of Cathie Wood as the market just keeps punishing her with an embedded reading. I think the pros are selling this on each rally, still looking for the lower band. When and if, and it will happen, the red line of the slow stochastic closes at 21 or higher. That's when I think this particular leg of this break will come to an end. Right now, it's not there. In the industrial sector, obviously, this market got smashed and fell apart. Friday, you got a small bounce today, and the market started holding the 100-day average. I think if you took my charting courses, you would learn that the first challenge of a Bollinger Band in the 100-day average in a downtrend, and you've been in a downtrend. You've had lower highs, lower low as of Friday. What can I tell you? That was, to me, where the pros were covering. That does not mean they're going long. Covering a short is fully different than going long. Then I look at the semiconductor, and the market is sort of stuck here. And notice what's really happened. The Bollinger Bands are collapsing in on price. The market had a momentum to the down. It's sort of losing that right now. You know, the semiconductor business, you can get shakeups in it, but you got a 2-year book. Everybody needs them. They're still in short supply. I can't get overly bearish. I do understand that if the COVID gets so bad and you can't go to a factory, you don't need them even though you don't have them. Does that make sense? It's a little crazy, but it's true. CNBC, this is the cannabis stock. Still, nothing helps this market. It looks to me like it's getting ready to embed again, which could mean new lows in the market if that occurs. No reason that I see for anything there. The home builders fell back down to the 18-day average. If you saw the home sales, the pending home sales and all today, they were good for October. You know, people were scared interest rates going up. Maybe this is the last hurrah. What do we do through there? So what you did is when you broke, you went down to the neutral zone, the 18-day average, and you still have momentum pointing down. Market is still overbought. You have a reading that's still at 70. You got to be under 70 in both numbers to no longer be overbought according to my rules in the slow stochastic. Again, I teach all this in my charting courses. In XLE, lower highs, lower low. The market hit its target, downside again on Friday, bounced up. You tell me the number this market ran into resistance at. That 18-day average is the line in the sand. I think the pros went short there. I think they're going to have stops right here at 58.25, and they're looking to see if they can get back down there. We'll see. To me, it's a dangerous trade. You got an OPEC meeting. What if they say they're not putting out the 400,000 barrels? Do you honestly think that's going to have a bearish impact on the market? I don't. Sometimes you look at a chart and just say, I don't want to play the market. The emerging markets still crashing. You know, if we're in trouble, what are these poor guys? So here you go. You're going down. You could make new lows for the year before this is all done. Gold. Gold has been one heck of a disappointment. I wrote a bullish gold report, and I know that I'm disappointed, but not on the weekly charts yet. The weeklies are very different than the dailies, and this is the zone that I'm looking for that support to come in. I could be very wrong, and if I am, I'll come out and tell you that. But right now, I'm looking for that support. You're oversold. I don't know that you'll be able to make it down to 31.22. We'll find out. And in copper, keep your eye on the London Exchange copper stocks. That's what the trade looks at. And those numbers, the stocks, the figures that are in storage are back to March lows. So with all the negative that's going on, there's not a lot of physical stock to deliver on contracts or take if you need it, something that you have to be watching. In TLT, look at how this market's still very much in an uptrend. Support back at 147.55 to 52. You wouldn't want to see prices back under the low right here. Excuse me, I want one too many. 144.50. So I'm looking for profit taking up there, pullbacks for the trade to buy, and until the game changes on that pattern. That's the pattern I'm seeing. And last, in the euro currency, any up tomorrow in this market will probably cause this red line to close over 21 and signal the end to this down leg in the euro. That does not mean you're starting a bull leg. It means the money on the downside might have been done with. You know, you keep hearing me talk about my charting course, and it's Cyber Week, and this is Cyber Week. I want to give it to you for free. It's pretty simple. If you buy any of my research, 1-year subscription, a new subscription to it, I'll give you your choice. My full charting course and or the enhanced Bollinger Band course. Your choice. You can also give them away as a gift to anybody you want. You tell us when you want them to start, we'll then turn it on. We'll start the research as soon as you buy it. So, not a bad deal. $156 is where my research starts for a year. It's $13 a month. Not very much. 2 Starbucks for big drinks, right? With a tip. It's not bad at all. And you get each month, think about it, 24 videos from it. How do you get this? Simple. You don't need to call us because I know you like to hide. Take your cursor, push it up. You'll see an icon show. When you see that icon, click it. Everything you need is right there. It takes you right to the page and you do it all automatically. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. This special won't last very long, so take advantage of it if you want to learn more.